ex-topper Pala NEET Academy. Today we are going to deal with the rest of the chapter from yesterday we have covered Bryophytes, Algae, and today we will be covering Pteridophytes, Angiosperms, Gymnosperms and the previous year questions. Okay, now let's start with Pteridophytes. Okay, Pteridophytes include hostales and ferns. As we studied, Bryophytes are having mosses and liverworts. Pteridophytes are having hostales and ferns. Okay. Then they are used. What are the uses? Uses are medicinal purposes and so as soil binders. And they are the first terrestrial plants. They are the first terrestrial plants to possess vascular tissues, xylem and phloem. They are the first plants that are having xylem and phloem. Okay, Pteridophytes are the first plants having xylem and phloem. They are known as the vascular tissues. Okay, then they grow in shady place and some they usually grow in shady places, but they also can also grow in sandy soil conditions. Okay, and which is the main plant body? The main plant body is sporophyte. The main plant body is sporophyte. Okay, and which this sporophyte is differentiated into true root. Since now means till bryophyte we have studied the plant body, the sporophyte is not divided into true root, but from sporophyte it is divided into true root, leaf and stem like structures. Okay, and these organs possess well differentiated vascular tissues. As I said, the leaves in Pteridophytes are small as in Selaginella or large as in ferns. Okay, the leaves, these plants are having leaves. Okay, all the below classes were having leaf like structures, but sporophytes have original or true leaves. Okay, the leaves can be small, which is known as microphyls, large, which is known as macrophyls. And what are the examples for small leaves and large leaves? The small leaves are Selaginella. Small one is Selaginella, small leaves Selaginella. And which one is the large leaf? Large leaf is in ferns. Okay. Now the sporophytes bear sporangia. The sporophytes will be having sporangia, which is a structure from which the spores arise. Okay, sporangia, and this sporangia will be subtended by leaf-like appendages. Okay, there is sporangia, and this sporangia will be subtended by leaf-like appendages known as the sporophyls. As I said, sporophyls are the leaf. Okay, leaf-like appendages. In some cases, sporophyls also form compact cones. Okay, this sporophyls, this is a leaf, but at some plants, in some plants it can form these kinds of aggregation of these leaves, which is known as cone or strobili, Okay. Now, what are the plants? Which are the examples of plants that form cones? The plants that form cones are Selaginella and Equistem. You have to note it. Then sporangia produces spores. As I said, sporangia produces spores, but how? By meiosis. Only after meiosis the spores are produced. Sporangia produce spores by meiosis in the spore mother cells. Okay. Now let's see. This is a sporophyte. Sporophyte is a plant body. Sporophyte is the plant body. Okay, sporophyte is the important plant body, and in that plant body there is sporangia, and this sporangia has sporophylls, which is leaves. Okay, and this sporangia will later produce sporangias produce these spores. Sporangia produce spores. Okay, by reduction, division or meiosis. By undergoing meiosis, sporangia will produce spores. But what undergo the meiosis? Sporangia is the organ. Okay, sporangia is the organ, and this spore mother cell, there will be a spore mother cell. This spore mother cell will undergo meiosis to form spores. So just remove all these things. Just remember, spore mother cell will undergo meiosis to form spores. Okay, done. Now what are the spores? These spores will later germinate into, as we said, these are spores. Okay, now there is formation of spores. Now the spore have to germinate to form a new organism. When the spores germinate, This spores germinate into a new structure which have many characteristics, and that new structure is known as prothallus. What is that new structure? That new structure is known as prothallus. Whenever the spore germinate, spore is a small substance, and this spore will germinate to form prothallus. Okay, prothallus. What are the characteristics of prothallus? Inconspicuous means which is not so prominent, okay. It is small, again it is multicellular, point to be noted, it is multicellular, it is free living, it is photosynthetic, and it is thalloid. Okay, clear? And all those points are given. Now these gametophytes, now it is a gametophyte, right? These gametophytes, these spores or these gametophytes need cool, damp, shady place. Since these type of places are less in number, the number of these organisms, means the number of pteridophytes, are limited. Okay, because of the requirement of specific restricted requirement, and the need for water fertilization. Not only that they need these type of environment, but also they need the water for fertilization. They need these kind of areas for their development, and they need water for fertilization, so they are limited in number. It is not so important. Okay, now they have sex organs. The sex organs are known as antheridia and archegonia. Antheridia is for male and archegonia is for female. Okay, and water is required for the transfer of anthrozoids. Okay, now let us see, this is antheridia. This is a pictorial representation. This is antheridia, and the antheridia will be producing anthrozoids. Anthrozoids are male spores, and this anthrozoids, this is water, okay, this is water, and this water, in this water current, this will travel into the mouth of archegonia. Archegonia is female sex organ, and it will travel into the mouth of archegonia and will fuse with the egg inside the archegonia and form a zygote. Clear? Okay. Okay, antheridia to the mouth of archegonia, and fusion of male gamete with the female egg will form a zygote, and this zygote will later undergo meiosis division, to form the haploid spores. Okay. Zygote thereafter produce multicellular well differentiated sporophyte. At first the zygote will be producing a multicellular body, and this multicellular body later undergo meiosis division to form spores. Okay, and this multicellular well differentiated body, this multicellular well differentiated sporophyte is the dominant phase of pteridophyte. It is the dominant phase of pteridophyte. Okay, and all the spores are of mostly this in pteridophytes, mostly everyone is in pteridophytes. Most of the organisms will be having same type of male and female spores. In majority of the organism, there will be same type of male and female spores. They are known as homosporous. And there will be plants, there will be pteridophytes which are having different type of spores, They are known as heterosporous. Okay, they are known as heterosporous. Just see here, in pteridophytes all the spores are similar of kinds. Such plants are known as homosporous. Okay, but Selaginella and Salvinia, 2s or s square. Okay, this s square has, which is Selaginella and Salvinia, they have different type of spores. And so they are known as heterosporous. Okay, so point to be noted, everyone is not heterosporous, but Selaginella and Salvinia is heterosporous. Okay, and they are having macro, large and micro, small spores. Okay, now megaspores and microspores germinate and give rise to female and male gametophyte. Okay, large will be giving rise into female gametophyte and small male gametophyte. The female gametophyte in these plants are retained. Okay, this is a point to be noted, and this is a bonus question for you. Okay, the female gametophyte. So, in the female sex organ, the female gametophyte will be retained. Even after fertilization, the female gametophyte will be retained inside the female sex organ, and this is for a variable period. Okay, we don't know whatever the period, it means it will be long. The female gametophyte will be stored inside the female sex organ for variable period, and this indicates the as its precursor to seed habit. This process indicates a precursor to seed habit, which means from algae it's been developing. Okay, algae was not so developed, then bryophytes not much developed, and when we reached into pteridophyte, they had vascular tissue, they are coming towards the seed habit. Till now they don't have the seed, but they are coming towards the seed habit. And what is the indication for that? They are coming into seed habit. It is this, the female gametophyte in these plants are retained in the parents sporophytes. Okay, and the development of zygote into young embryo takes place within the female gametophyte. Inside the female gametophyte only the embryo also develops. Only inside the female gametophyte embryo also develops. Okay, and what are the examples? Examples are easy. See, Coelopsida. It's easy to remember, easy to study. Coelopsida, Coelotum. Coelopsida, Coelotum. Then Lycopsida. It's like Coelopsida, Coelotum, it's easy. Lycopsida, Lycopsida, Lycopodium is very easy, and Selaginella is the only thing that you have to remember in Lycopsida. Okay, this is obvious, so you don't have to study about it. Coelopsida, Coelotum, Lycopsida, Lycopodium, it's fine. Then Pteridopsida, in Pteridopsida it's Pteris and Bryopteris. These two are obvious. Even if the option come like this, you can get it. Pteris, by seeing Pteris, you can get it is in the group of Pteropsida. But Adiantum you have to study. Okay, Adiantum you have to study. And Sphenopsida equistum. Sphenopsida equistum, Pteropsida, Adiantum. Okay, clear. Now let's see the pictures. Okay, the first one is Selaginella. And it is having leaf, not leaf like, it is having leaf. Then it is having a stem, not stem like, it is having stem. Okay, then it is having root, not root like. Clear? And now we are coming into this structure. The second one is equistum. Okay, we have said that certain organism will form aggregation. Their aggregation of leaves can form strobili or cone. Means these are the leaves. Okay, these leaves or their sporophylls. Okay, these sporophylls will aggregate to form cone or strobili. Not the point. Okay, and this is seen in equistum. There was one more plant who shows the property. Okay, cones will be formed in Selaginella and equistum. Okay, cone will be formed in Selaginella and equistum. And strobili, this is node, this is internode. Internode is the space between two nodes. This is one node and this is the other node. So this is the internode, and these are branched. Okay, they can ask like, does equistum has a branching system? Yes, equistum has. Then rhizome, where this is a PYQ. Rhizome is present in which of the following? Rhizome is present in equistum. Okay. And the third one is a fern. Fern you have seen, you usually see in daily life, I think, because it's seen everywhere. Now this is Salvinia. What was the characteristic of Selaginella and Salvinia? Selaginella and Salvinia are heterosporous. Okay. Now Pteridophytes is over. Now let's go fast into Gymnosperms. Okay. Gymnosperms. Gymno means, just listen to the name. Gymnosperms. Gymnosperms means naked seeds. Sperms is seed and gymno is naked. Okay, gymnosperms means naked seeds. The seeds are not covered by ovary wall. Now let's see. Okay, ovules are not enclosed by, ovules means the seeds. Ovule is seed. Okay, ovules are not covered by any ovary wall and it remain exposed. Okay, before and after fertilization. This is the important point to be noted. Underline these in your NCERT. And gymnosperms, what all varieties are present inside the gymnosperm? Okay, gymnosperms include medium sized trees or tall trees and shrubs. It includes all type of trees like medium sized, large, shrubs, everything. Okay, and gymnosperms, okay, now this is the example that you have to note. Sequoia. Sequoia is a giant redwood tree. They can ask like, this sequoia belongs to which class, which phyla. Okay, Sequoia belongs to which group of plant kingdom? Okay, so it is under the Gymnosperms, right? And this Sequoia is the tallest tree species. Okay, Sequoia is the tallest tree species, and they also, these Gymnosperms usually possess tap roots. Gymnosperms usually possess tap roots. This is an important point and underline it in your NCERT. Okay. Now coming into more structures, it's more characteristics of Gymnosperms. All these things, the whole paragraph is just this. The whole paragraph is just this much. The whole paragraph is just this much. So you don't have to read it. Just listen to what I am saying the next. Okay, you just have to learn about two types of plants. Okay, one is Pinus, and the second one is Cycas. One is Pinus, second one is Cycas. Okay, what is Pinus? Pinus is a type of Pinus is an organism which belongs to Gymnosperms. Okay, Cycas also belongs to Gymnosperm. What is the similarity? Both are under the Gymnosperm. Okay, and in Pinus there is presence of mycorrhiza. What do you mean by mycorrhiza? Mycorrhiza is the association of fungi. Fungi in the root of Gymnosperm is known as mycorrhiza. Okay, fungi in the root of plants. Fungi in the root of Gymnosperm is known as mycorrhiza, and this mycorrhiza phenomena, it is a symbiotic relationship. What is symbiotic relationship? Mutually useful relationship, and this is found in Pinus. Okay. Instead of this, in Cycas, what is in coralloid roots? Coralloid roots means in the roots of Cycas. In the root of Pinus it is mycorrhiza, but in the root of Cycas it is coralloid root. What is coralloid root? It is the association, the roots of Cycas will be having nitrogen fixation capacity. Okay, what is it? The roots of Cycas. The roots of Cycas are associated with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. Why the roots can fix nitrogen? Because it is having nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. Okay, just see this. Mycorrhiza is having fungi, and coralloid roots is having cyanobacteria. Coralloid's root have cyanobacteria. Mycorrhiza fungi, coralloid roots, cyanobacteria. Okay. Now coming into second point. The Pinus is having branched stems. Just see this. The second picture is Pinus. The second picture is Pinus. Just see the stems are branched. The stems are branched. Okay, the stems are branched. So the Pinus is having branched stems. The Pinus have branched stem, whereas this is Cycas, and the Cycas is not having branched stem. Cycas is having unbranched stem. Cycas is having unbranched stem. Clear? And coming into the last and final point, the male and female cones are present in the same tree. Okay, the male cone, when you go into Ooty and some places like that, you will be able to get those cones for sale. It is used as a ornamental purposes. Okay, ornamental and decorative purposes. The cone may look like this. The cone usually look like this. I am not good at drawing, but it usually look like this, right? Something like this. The male cone and female cone will be large, and male cone will be small, and these cones will be grown in same tree. These cones will be grown in same tree in Pinus. In Pinus they are in same tree, but in Cycas they are on different trees. Okay, in Cycas they are on different trees. Okay, they are known as monoecious and dioecious. Monoecious when they are in same, and dioecious when they are different. Okay, clear? Okay, so all these things are clear, and this paragraph is also done. Just at last you have to know that leaves of Gymnosperm. Just see the leaves. What are the speciality of the leaf? The leaves look like needle. The leaves are needle-like. See, the leaves are needle-like. Why there is adaptation of needle-like structures? Okay, these Gymnosperms, leaves of Gymnosperms are well adapted to withstand the extreme condition. The Gymnosperms are well adapted to withstand extreme condition, so that they are having needle-like leaves. The one specialty is needle-like leaves. Second specialty is reduced, so that because of needle shaped leaves they will be having reduced surface area. Then they will be having thick cuticle. Cuticle you will be studying more about cuticle and all the other structures in structure of plants. Okay, thicker cuticle and sunken stomata. All these things helps to reduce water loss. Okay, what are the characteristics? One is needle-like. What are the characteristics helpful for withstanding extreme condition? Withstand extreme conditions are needle-like leaves. Needle-like leaves, thick cuticle and sunken stomata. Clear? Now Gymnosperms. Okay, Gymnosperms are heterosporous. What we studied in Pteridophytes. Pteridophytes can be heterosporous, can also be homosporous. But Gymnosperms is the complete Gymnosperm is heterosporous. Clear? And they produce, why they are heterosporous? They have microspores and megaspores. Microspore is male spores, and microspores will give rise to male gametophyte, and megaspores will give rise to female gametophyte. Clear? Okay. And these two kinds of spores are produced within the sporangia. Sporangia is the place, sporangia is the structure in which these spores are produced. Okay. Sporangia, and this is sporangia, and from sporangia spores arise. Spores are produced. Okay. And these spores are produced on sporophylls. Okay, these are, just remember, these are the sporangia. Just think that this is the structure sporangia, and this structure, in this structure sporangia there will be leaves which is known as sporophylls, and on these sporophylls there is spores. Okay, so the sporangium, in sporangium the spores are produced, and the spores are produced on sporophylls. Okay, produced within sporangia and borne on sporophylls, and these are arranged spirally along an axis. These leaves are usually arranged along an axis. And when they are arranged along an axis, this can form the cones that you see in Ooty. Okay, that you see in hill stations and all, because there are these Gymnosperms are present in hill stations. Okay, these are the cones when they are arranged along a long axis, spirally arranged along a long axis. Okay, now it's about strobili. It's also known as strobili or cones. Now coming into the strobili bearing microsporophylls and microspore. Okay, if the strobili is having microsporophylls, it is not microsporophylls and microsporangia, it is known as male strobili or male cones. Micro for male. And if it is having megasporophylls with ovules, then it is known as megasporophylls with megasporangia. They are female strobili. Okay, micro for men and mega for female. Done. Now this microspore develop into male gametophyte, as I said, and this will be this male gametophyte. Male gametophyte will be highly reduced structure. This is a point to be noted. This is a PYQ. Okay, this male gametophyte is highly reduced structure. Clear? And it is confined into limited number of cells. The male gametophyte is highly reduced. And it is limited. It is only limited number of cells. It only has limited number of cells, and this reduced gametophyte is known as pollen grain. So the male gametophyte. What is the name of, this is a question. What is the name of the male gametophyte of Gymnosperm? What is the name of male gametophyte of the Gymnosperm? It is pollen grain. It is highly reduced. Clear? Now the development of pollen grains takes place within the microsporangia. Okay. Now the cones bearing megasporophylls. The cones which is having megasporophylls means that big leaves. Okay. They and with the megasporangia, they are called the female cones, as I said, and the male or female cones or strobili may be borne on. Okay. This is what I said before. If the male and female cones are on same tree, it is pinus. If it is on different tree, it is cycas. Clear? Okay. Now we will be learning about how the megasporophylls, how the megaspores are produced. This is megaspores. The ovules, ovules means female sex organs. The female sex organs are born on megasporophylls. Megasporophylls means the bigger leaves. Okay, and they may be clustered to form female cones. Clear? And the megaspore mother cells. Before that, going back into the topic, okay, there is nucellus. There is a structure known as nucellus. Okay, this is a structure of female gametophyte, female megasporophyte. Okay, there is a structure inside known as nucellus. There is a structure inside known as nucellus, and from this nucellus develops a megaspore mother cell. Okay, from this nucellus develops into megaspore mother cell. Nucellus develops into megaspore mother cell, and this megaspore mother cell will form 4 haploid spores. This megaspore mother cells will divide into 4 haploid megaspores, and these are 4 haploid megaspores, and one among the 4 megaspores will form the gametophyte or egg. Clear? So this is the nucellus. This is a nucellus, and from this nucellus forms this nucellus develops into megaspore mother cell. What is it? MMC, megaspore mother cell. Okay. So what is the cycle? Just see the cycle. Okay. This is nucellus. The first step is nucellus, and from the nucellus develops MMC, megaspore mother cell, and from the megaspore mother cells we will get 4 megaspores. We will get 4 megaspores. And among the 4 megaspores, one of the 4 megaspores will form female gametophyte or egg. Clear? Okay. And as we said in pteridophyte, the female gametophyte is retained inside the female sex organ itself. Here also the same happens. See. Okay. One of the megaspores, here we have, it's written what we have said, megaspore mother cell. The megaspore mother cell divides meiotically to form 4 megaspores, as we said, and one of the megaspores inside the megasporangium will develop into multicellular female gametophyte. So the female gametophyte is haploid, but it is multicellular. It is not unicellular. It is multicellular. Okay. This is point to be noted. Be clear with it. It is multicellular. The female gametophyte is multicellular, and it bears 2 or more archegonia or female sex organs. Okay. The multicellular female gametophyte is also retained inside the megasporangium. As in pteridophyte, this megasporophyte is also retained. This female gametophyte is also retained inside the female sex organ because it is going through seed habit. This is a true seed. In gymnosperms, true seed is also seen. Okay. Unlike bryophytes and pteridophytes, gymnosperms, male and female gametophytes do not have a free living existence. Okay. In pteridophytes and bryophytes, they were having the water for fertilization. Don't you remember that? They were having, in water they were releasing the spores, and these spores were going to the mouth of archegonia. But in gymnosperms, it doesn't have a free living existence. Okay, this is a point to be noted. In gametophytes, male and female gametophytes in gymnosperms, the female and male gametophytes do not have an independent free living existence. Clear? Okay. What happens here? The pollen grains is released from the microsporangium. The pollen grains are released from the microsporangium, and they are carried in the air currents. There it was water. Here this is the microsporangium. Okay, this is the microsporangium, and from the microsporangium the spores are carried in the air currents to reach at the mouth of archegonium. And they discharge their contents. Be clear with it. They discharge their contents at the mouth of archegonia, and they will travel inside through a tube known as pollen tube. Okay, let me remind you what is the name of the male gametophyte. The name of the male gametophyte is pollen grain. Okay, so what is coming here? It is pollen grain, and this pollen grains get adhered to the mouth of the archegonium, and it develops as a tube. It develops through a tube, and that tube is known as pollen tube, and inside they will release the structure and fusion of pollen grain and egg happens. Okay, that is directing to zygote formation. Okay, now the zygote forms, and the zygote will develop into, now the zygote forms. Okay, now the fusion happens, egg plus pollen grain, fusion happens, so zygote formation, and this zygote later forms, this zygote under division will form embryo. Zygote forms embryo, and the ovules forms seed. What is ovule? This is the ovule, and the ovules is the female sex organ. Okay, and the ovule will form seed, and these seeds are not covered. By ovary wall. Okay, so it is known as gymnosperms. So did we miss anything here? This is cycas, this is plant cycas, this is plant pinus, and this is jingo. Jingo is a living fossil. Jingo is having dwarf shoot, long shoot. Jingo can be having dwarf shoot or long shoot, and it also have seeds because it's gymnosperm. Okay, it is a living fossil. And now coming into the last topic of the chapter. The last topic of the chapter is angiosperms. Unlike the gymnosperms where the ovules are naked, in angiosperms the ovules are not naked. Which means the seeds are covered, not naked. Which means seeds have cover. Clear? And in the angiosperms are okay. The pollen grains and ovules are developed in specialized structure called flowers. This is a point to be noted. Pollen grains and ovules are developed inside special structures known as flowers. Okay, the seeds are there. The seeds were naked, but here the seeds are covered or enclosed in the fruits. Okay, as we see in mango, coconut and everything, the seeds are covered by the fruit. Okay, and the angiosperms are a large group. Angiosperm is the large group. Okay, and this angiosperms are having variety of organisms, and let's see what are the wide range of habitats. It will be having smallest Wolffia. This is a PYQ. The smallest structure is the smallest organism of flowers is, smallest flower is Wolffia, to the tall trees eucalyptus. Clear? It is having smallest Wolffia to tall tree eucalyptus, and this eucalyptus can range over 100 meters. And they provide us with what are the uses of angiosperms: food, fodder, fuel, medicine, and several other important. And they are divided into two classes. These angiosperms are again divided into two classes. What are the two classes? These are two important classes: dicotyledons and monocotyledons. The more about this chapter we will learn in +2. Means in the +2 syllabus there is more about the sexual reproduction in flowering plants, and there we will be learning about the zygote formation, the embryo formation, everything. Okay, clear? Now the chapter is reduced into this much. The NCERT is cut down into just this much because the sexual reproduction we will be dealing there in sexual reproduction of flowering plants. Okay, this is angiosperms, and the two classes are dicotyledon and monocotyledon. Clear? Now let's see important aspect there is an important aspect in this chapter which NCERT have removed. It is not there in NCERT now, but for a safer side we can see. Okay, plant life cycle and alternation of generation. We have studied that different plants are having different dominant phase. Clear? Some of them are having dominant phase as gametophyte. The others are having dominant phase as sporophyte. Right? Okay, so let's see what is it about. Haplontic means there are three types of plant life cycle. Okay, plant life cycle. Today now we are going to deal with plant life cycle. There are three: haplontic, diplontic and haplodiplontic. Repeat with me. It's haplontic, diplontic and haplodiplontic. Clear? And in haplontic, the sporophyte stage, there are two stages. One is gametophyte stage and the other one is sporophyte stage. So in this haplontic, the sporophyte stage is small, which means it's very less. The sporophyte stage is less and the gametophyte stage is more. Then it is known as haplontic. If the reverse happens, like gametophyte stage is less and sporophyte stage is large, then it is diplontic. If both the stages are present, both the stages are equally present, then it is haplodiplontic. But in haplodiplontic, there are changes, like in some organisms the gametophytic stage will be predominant, means dominant, more dominant. Both will be present, but more dominant will be one of the stage, and in others the sporophyte will be more dominant. Clear? Okay. Now let's see, sporophytic generation is represented by only one cell zygote. Only in this zygote the sporophyte is shown. Everything else is gametophyte. Clear? And there is no free living sporophyte, and dominant is gametophyte. What are the examples of haplontic? It's algae. Haplontic is algae are mostly okay. Algae are mostly haplontic. And now let's see. Okay, Volvox, Pyrogyra and some species of Chlamydomonas. Now coming into diplontic. Diplontic, as I said, sporophyte is dominant and it is the independent phase of plant. Clear? And gametophyte represents by single few cell. Here the sporophyte was single cell zygote, and here it is single small parts of gametophyte. Okay, here the sporophyte is prominent, and all gymnosperms and angiosperms follow diplontic life cycle. And now coming into haplodiplontic. Haplodiplontic means both phases are present. Okay, both phases are multicellular, both phases are present and both phases are multicellular. Okay, and however they differ in dominant stage. Just rewind, this Bryophytes were having gametophyte as dominant stage and Pteridophytes was having sporophyte as dominant phase. Clear? Okay, and the examples are Ectocarpus, Polysiphonia, Kelps. Examples are Ectocarpus, Polysiphonia, Kelps. These are also algae. So these algae are kept in haplodiplontic, but Volvox and Pyrogyra are kept in haplontic. Everything clear? Okay. And all the Bryophytes and all the Pteridophytes, because all Pteridophytes and all Bryophytes are having these type of life cycle. And in Bryophytes dominant is gametophyte, and in Pteridophytes dominant is sporophyte. Okay, now we will be taking a break of 1 minute, and after that we will be continuing with the previous year questions. Okay. Okay, now let's start the previous year questions. This chapter is having high weightage and there are many questions from this chapter. So the PYQs are so important. Now let's see which of the following is responsible for peat formation. Which is responsible for peat formation? It is sphagnum. Okay, because sphagnum is a, what was sphagnum? Sphagnum is a moss. Okay, clear. Peat formation is sphagnum. Now let's see. Just try to answer the question. Figures A, B, C, D, and we have to select the correct one. What is this? This is Selaginella. This is Equistum. This is Selaginella. This is Equistum, and this is Salvinia, and this is Ginkgo. So this proves that the pictures in the NCERT are so important. It was 2000, I think it was 2010 NEET question. Okay, so the answer is Selaginella, Equista, Salvinia, Ginkgo. Now let's go. In Bryophytes and Pteridophytes, transport of male and female. In Bryophytes and Pteridophytes, transport of male gamete requires. What does they require? If you are like confused with the answer, just remember Bryophytes are known as the amphibians of plant family. Amphibians means they are living in soil and water, so they need water. And Pteridophytes also, you studied that Pteridophytes need water. So the medium of the transport of male gametes is water. Okay, so the medium for transport of their male gametes are water, or the question can also be framed. So the answer is water. The question can also be framed like this. Water is required for the fertilization of Bryophytes and Pteridophytes. True or false? It's true. Right? Coming into next question. Bryophytes comprises of small sporophytic phase and generally parasitic on gametophyte. Okay, let it be there. Then dominant phase of gametophyte which produces spores. Dominant phase of sporophyte which is parasitic. Is it dominant phase of sporophyte? No, Bryophytes is having dominant phase of gametophyte. Okay, and sporophyte is of longer duration. No, gametophyte is of longer duration. Now coming into this small dominant phase of gametophyte which produces spores. Is it right? No. Why? Because this is a confusing thing. See, dominant phase of gametophyte. It is right, but it does not produce spores. Spores are produced by sporophyte, which means sporophyte, as we studied, sporophyte will be developing into multicellular body, right? And this multicellular body again undergo meiosis and form the spores. So sporophytes is the one who is producing spores, not the gametophyte. So it was a confusing statement, and the right answer is small sporophyte phase and which is generally parasitic on the gametophyte. So the option A is the right answer. Now the next question, an algae which is very rich in protein. An algae which is very rich in protein is chlorella. Okay, this I have said that chlorella is generally a protista. Chlorella is a protista. But if they ask the question like this, an algae, as they have stated, they itself have stated this is an algae. Okay, then it's completely fine. And in NCERT it is given like chlorella, an algae which is highly proteinaceous. Okay, which is rich in protein. So the answer is chlorella. Clear? And Floridian starch has similar structure. Floridian starch. What is Floridian starch? Floridian starch is a storage body. Floridian starch is storage body. Okay, it is a storage body, which means it is a storage structure which stores the food in algae. Okay, which stores the food in algae, and it is present in red algae. It is present in red algae. And what is the question? It has the structure similar to amylopectin and glycogen. It has the structure similar to amylopectin and glycogen. Okay, now coming into the next one. Artificial system of classification was first used by. There are two systems of classification, natural system of classification and artificial system of classification. Artificial system of classification was given by Linnaeus. Artificial system of classification was given by Linnaeus. And who gave the natural system of classification? Bentham and Hooker. Clear? Okay. Natural system of classification was given by Bentham and Hooker, and artificial system of classification by Linnaeus. Okay, now coming into the next question. Compared with the gametophytes of the bryophytes, the gametophytes of vascular plants. Now this is again a confusing statement. See, what is vascular plants? If you haven't read NCERT clearly, you will be confused with that. What is vascular plants? Okay, vascular plants here by vascular plants they have said the Pteridophytes. Pteridophytes are vascular plants, and Gymnosperm is also vascular plants, because from the Pteridophytes everything is vascular. So Gymnosperm is also vascular, Angiosperm is also vascular. Now what is the question? Compared to the gametophytes of Bryophytes, gametophytes of vascular plants tend to be having larger what is the gameto? Larger and to have large sex organs, smaller but to have large sex organs, and smaller and to have smaller sex organs. This is the question. So what is the answer? As we studied in Gymnosperms, the gametophytes are reduced, highly reduced. So the gametophyte is certainly going to be highly reduced. The gametophyte is highly reduced. So among these one is the answer, and but to have larger sex organs or to have smaller sex organs. So the answer is that it will be having smaller gametophyte, it will be having smaller gametophyte and smaller and smaller sex organs. Okay, clear? Now which one of the following is the most advanced from the evolutionary viewpoint? Now let's see each of them. What is Selaginella? Selaginella is a fern, which means Selaginella is a pteridophyte. Okay, Selaginella is a pteridophyte. Selaginella is a pteridophyte. Okay, now coming into Pinus. What is Pinus? Pinus is a gymnosperm. Okay, what is Chlamydomonas? Chlamydomonas is sometimes referred to as algae, and sometimes it is also referred as protista, and in different chapters it is referred different, but here it is algae. Okay, and what is Funaria? Funaria again as a algae. Okay, clear? And now they have asked which is the advanced form, which one is the most advanced. Algae is the least advanced. Then comes the what is the order? Just remember the order of advancement. The order is algae. Algae is less developed than Bryophytes. Then comes the Bryophytes, which is more developed than algae. Then comes the Pteridophytes, which is more developed than the Bryophytes. Then comes Gymnosperms, which is more developed than Pteridophytes. Then comes the Angiosperms, which is more developed than Gymnosperms. Okay, so among these the most developed is Gymnosperm and it is Pinus. So Pinus is the answer. Okay, which one of the following is common to multicellular fungi? Multicellular fungi, filamentous algae and Protonema of mosses. Okay, what is the character which is similar to all these multicellular fungi, filamentous algae and Protonema of mosses? Okay, these are members of kingdom Plantae. Is it right? Fungi is not a member of kingdom Plantae. Fungi is itself is a kingdom fungi. Okay, kingdom fungi. Then coming into diplontic life cycle. Does everyone have diplontic life cycle? See, mosses is pteridophyte. Mosses, pteridophyte, and algae. Pteridophyte is having haplodiplontic. Pteridophyte is having haplodiplontic life cycle. Then algae. Algae is having haplontic life cycle. So that is also wrong. So this one was wrong. This is again wrong. Then the mode of nutrition. Fungi is saprophytic. Filamentous algae is not saprophytic. They have storage bodies, right? They have chlorophylls. Algae have chlorophylls and they undergo photosynthesis, which means they are autotrophic. Fungi is saprophytic. Okay. Then Protonema of mosses again a photosynthetic or like autotroph. So this one is also wrong. Now multiplication by fragmentation. Everyone means the fungi, algae and the Protonema multiply by fragmentation. Clear? Okay. Now comes the next question. Mannitol is a stored food in. What is mannitol? Mannitol is a storage body of an algae. And which is the algae that is having mannitol? Laminarin and mannitol is present in brown algae. So which one of the following is a brown algae? Porphyra. Porphyra is a red algae. Okay. Chara is a green algae. Chara is a green algae. Gracilaria and Gelidum is again a red algae. So Fucus is a brown algae. Fucus is the brown algae, and the right answer comes to be Fucus. Clear? Okay, next question. Which one of the following pairs is wrongly matched? Which one of the following pair is wrongly matched? The wrongly matched pairs is viroids. Viroids is having RNA, right? Viroids is a structure, low molecular weight RNA structures without protein coat. Clear? Salvinia has prothallus. Salvinia is a member of Pteridophytes, and Pteridophytes has prothallus. Clear? Mustard is synergids. Okay, and Jingo is having Archegonia. Selaginella and Salvinia are present in prothallus. Okay, we will see this question again. The question number is 12. Okay, read the following 5 sentence statements A to E. Okay, just read the question. Mosses and lichens are the first organisms to colonize a bare rock. It is right. They were the first organisms to colonize a bare rock. Then the second one, Selaginella is a homosporous pteridophyte. No, Selaginella is heterosporous. Then coralloid roots is seen in cycas. Okay, coralloid roots are seen in cycas and have VAM. Main plant body in bryophyte is gametophyte, where in pteridophyte it is sporophyte. So this is right. So A, D is right. A and D is right. Then in Gymnosperms, male and female gametophytes are present within the sporangia located on the sporophyte. So this is also right. So this is wrong, and A, D, E is right. So option B, A, D, E is the right answer. Okay. Now coming into the next question. Brown algae is characterized by the presence of. Brown algae is characterized by the presence of which all these are pigments, and fucosanthin is the only one which is seen in brown algae. Only fucosanthin is in brown algae. Phycocyanin, phycoerythrin are seen in red algae, and hematochrome is not mentioned. Clear? Fucosanthin is the answer. An example of colonial algae. This I have given you the trick, colonial double O, so volvox double O. Clear? So D is the, this is what I said. If you study like this, you won't forget it ever. Okay, colonial volvox. Now match the following. Match the following. Okay, match the following. Patricius flagellation. Patricius flagellation. If you are just starting with this chapter, you won't be knowing about it. But so just leave it. But it is usually means the E. coli. E. coli is a bacteria, and this E. coli will be having so many flagella. So it is known as Patricius flagellation. Okay, so this is the answer. Then living fossil. I said Jingo is the living fossil. Then rhizophore. I told you to check that picture. Rhizophore were present in these structures. Which was the organisms? Pteridophytes. Okay. Then smallest flowering plant. Smallest flowering plant is Wolffia, and largest perennial algae is so the one which is remaining is Macrocystites. Okay, Rhizophora for Selaginella because it is Pteridophyte. Okay, so now let's see A for L, B for J, C for M, D is equal to N, and E is equal to K. It's not equal, but D is K. Okay. Male gametes are flagellated. Where are the male gametes flagellated? So yesterday we have studied this. What was that? Okay, isogamous. Isogamous means both spores are similar. Both gametes are similar. Both gametes, not the spores, both gametes similar, then they are known as isogamous. And what were the examples for isogamous? It was Eulothrix and Spirogyra. And I have given you a trick which is the flagellated. To identify which one is the flagellated, you just have to note, you just have to see that the flagellated one will be having L. So Ulothrix is the flagellated one. Clear? Okay. So male gametes are flagellated in, but here the here Ulothrix is not present. So let's see. Polysiphonia. So Ulothrix is not here, right? So it's not the answer. Now let's see. Anabina is a cyanobacteria. Spirogyra is non-flagellated. Polysiphonia is a red algae. Red algae is always non-flagellated. So Ectocarpus is the answer. And Ectocarpus is a brown algae. Brown algae is having flagellated gametophytes. Okay. Which of the following pair is a unicellular algae? Okay. Chlorella, this Anabina, first of all we will see Anabina is a cyanobacteria. So that is not an answer. Laminaria and Sargassum brown algae, they are multicellular. Gelidum gracilaria, they are also red algae, they are also multicellular. And Chlorella and Spirulina are the unicellular algae. Which of the following gametophyte is not independent free living? In Bryophytes it's independent and free living. In Pteridophytes also it's independent and free living. So let's see, Markantia is Bryophytes. So it's not the answer because it is free living in Bryophytes. Okay. Then Funaria. In Funaria also, what is Funaria? Funaria is an algae. Right, Funaria is an algae, so it is also not independent free living. So, not independent free living. Now, Pinus. Pinus is a Gymnosperm. Right? In Gymnosperm, it is not independent free living. In Gymnosperms, the gametophytes are dependent on the sporangium. And Pteris is again a pteridophyte. Right. So the free living gametophytes, independent gametophytes are seen in Bryophytes, Pteridophytes and Algae. So the answer should be, the question is not independent. So the answer should be something else other than Bryophytes, Pteridophytes and Algae. Markantia is Bryophyte, Funaria is Algae and Pteris is Pteridophyte. So the answer comes to be Pinus, which is a Gymnosperm. Okay. Select the wrong statement. Chlamydomonas exhibit both isogamy and anisogamy and Fucus shows oogamy. Okay, Fucus shows oogamy, that is right. Okay, in oomycetes, female gametophytes is smaller and motile while male gametes is larger and non-motile. This thing you have to remember because everywhere, wherever you study about the gametophytes, females are always bigger. Female gametophyte is bigger and male gametophyte is smaller. Male gametophyte is smaller and female gametophyte is bigger, and the male will be motile. And the female will be non-motile. Clear? Okay. Hydrocolloid carrageen. Carrageen is obtained from. Carrageen is obtained from Rhodophyceae, means red algae. Carrageen is from red algae. Okay, carrageen is from red algae and Rhodophyceae. Red algae means Rhodophyceae, and algine is from brown algae. Okay, life cycles of Ectocarpus and Fucus are respectively. Okay, let's see that we have studied that Ectocarpus is haplodiplondic. Ectocarpus is haplodiplondic and Fucus is diplondic. So this is special case most of the algae are haplodic. Let's see, most here just note it down. Majority of algae is haplodic, but Fucus is diplondic. And Ectocarpus plus there is one more organism, Ectocarpus and Polysiphonia. Ectocarpus, Polysiphonia, kelps. Ectocarpus, Polysiphonia and kelps are haplodiploidic. So please note these points, guys. Please note this point. Majority are haplodic. Fucus is diploidic and Ectocarpus, Polysiphonia, kelps are haplodiploidic. Clear? So Ectocarpus is haplodiploidic and Fucus is diploidic. Right. So B is the answer. B comes to be the answer. Conifers are adapted to tolerate extreme environmental conditions. Okay, they will tolerate extreme environmental conditions because of the presence of vessels, superficial stoma, thick cuticle, broad hairy leaves. It doesn't have broad hairy leaves because it is having needle-like leaves. Conifers, this you have to know. What does they mean by conifers? Conifers means they are meaning gymnosperms. Okay, gymnosperms is also known as conifers, and they are having needle-like. We have studied it. They are having needle-like leaves. Then they are having thick cuticle. So this is right. They are having sunken stomata. They are having sunken stomata. They have vessels. They have vessels, but it is not an indication. It is not an adaptation for their for the adaptation in extreme environment. So the right answer comes to be thick cuticle. Now coming into male and female gametophytes are independent and free living in. Male and female gametophytes are independent and free living in. Castor, it is not. Male and female gametophytes are independent in bryophytes, right? So this castor is not bryophyte. Sphagnum is a bryophyte. Mustard, pinus, all these are not bryophyte. So bryophyte is sphagnum. So the answer comes to be sphagnum, right? Okay. Which one of the following is a wrong statement? Wrong. Okay, wrong statement. Archaeonia are found in bryophyte, Pteridophyte and Gymnosperms. Is it right? It's right. So this is not the answer. It is a right one. Mucor has biflagellate zoospores. Mucor has biflagellate zoospores. If we are not confirm about it, let's read the haploid endosperm is typical feature of gymnosperms. This gymnosperms having haploid endosperm is the right thing. Then brown algae have chlorophyll A, C and fucoxanthin. Brown algae is having A, C and fucoxanthin. So this one is the wrong one. Mucor has biflagellate zoospores. Okay. Which one of the following shows isogamy with non-flagellated gametes? As I said before, isogamy. Examples are Eulothrix and Spirogyra, and the flagellated one is having L. So Eulothrix is flagellated and Spirogyra is non-flagellated. Spirogyra is non-flagellated. So the answer is Spirogyra. The answer is Spirogyra. Okay, now the next question. Which one of the following statement is wrong? Agar-agar is obtained from Gelidium and Gracilarium. It is right. It is given as it is in NCERT. So that is not a wrong statement. We are looking for the wrong statement. Laminarian and sargassum are used as food. Laminaria and sargassum are used as food. Okay. Then algae increase the level of dissolved oxygen in the immediate environment. Okay. Algin is obtained from red algae. This was also right. Okay, this is laminaria and sargassum are used as food. Algae increases the level of dissolved oxygen in immediate environment. Okay, right? Algin is from red algae and carrageen is from brown algae. They have given it ulta, means they have given it reverse. Algin is obtained from brown. Algin is from brown and carrageen is from red. Okay, so this is the wrong option and this comes to be the right answer. Okay. Read the following statement A to E. Okay. And find the okay. In liverworts, moss and ferns, gametophytes are free living. Is it right? Liverworts, mosses are bryophytes and pteridophytes they are having free living gametophytes. So one is right. Okay, one is right. Then gymnosperms and some ferns are heterosporous. It is right. All the gymnosperms are heterosporous and Selaginella sanguinea are heterosporous. Right? Okay. Sexual reproduction in fucus. Sexual reproduction in fucus, volvox, albugo is oogamous. In fucus and volvox and it is oogamous. Fucus and volvox it is oogamous because we have studied oogamous, volvox and along with that fucus. Albugo is also, even if you have some doubt, we'll keep it there. Okay. Then, but albugo is a fungus, right? It is also having oogam as well. Then the sporophyte in liverwort is more elaborate than most. No, it is always as the groups are increasing, as the evolutionary order. This is most, which means bryophyte, and from there goes pteridophyte. When the evolutionary relationship increases, the more the development. So it is more developed. The structure sporophyte is more developed in mosses. It's more developed in mosses. It is a statement of NCERT itself. Okay, so this is wrong. Then both Pinus and Marcasia are dioecious. No, because Pinus is monoecious. Why Pinus is monoecious? Pinus is having female and male sex organ in the same plant only. So 3 options are right. So 3 is the right answer. Okay. Now coming into the next question. Which one of the following is wrongly matched? Uniflagellated gametes, Polysyphonia, Gemma cups. Gemma cups is seen in Mertensia because it is in Bryophytes. Okay. Unicellular organism is Chlorella. This is also right. Biflagellate zoospores is seen in brown algae. This is also right. So this one is the wrong answer. Uniflagellate gametes, Polysyphonia. What is common in all 3? Funaria, Bryopteris and Ginkgo. This Ginkgo is a gymnosperm. Ginkgo is a gymnosperm. Funaria is an algae, and Bryopteris is a pteridophyte. Okay. Presence of independent gametophyte, well-developed vascular tissues are not present. Independent gametophyte is not present in gymnosperms. Independent sporophyte is also not present in Bryopteris. So the presence of Archegonia is the common feature. Presence of Archegonia. Now the next question, which of the following statement is correct? Selaginella is heterosporous. That is right. Salvinia is homosporous. That is wrong, because Salvinia is also heterosporous. Host states are gymnosperms. The beginning of gymnosperms was, beginning of pteridophytes was host states and ferns are included in pteridophytes. So it is not a gymnosperms. Ovules are not enclosed by ovary walls in gymnosperms. It is right because it is known as gymnosperms, which means naked seeds. Okay. Ovules are not enclosed in ovary wall. Okay, this is the right answer. Now the pyrenoids are made of. The pyrenoids are made of what are pyrenoids? Pyrenoids are storage bodies in algae. Okay, and the pyrenoids are made of core of starch surrounded by a sheath of protein. It is made of core of starch, which means inside it is carbohydrate and outside it is having a protein sheath. Okay, clear. Next question. So this one is the last question. Select the correct statement. Gymnosperms are both homosporous and heterosporous. No, gymnosperms are truly heterosporous. So this is a wrong statement. The leaves of gymnosperms are not well adapted to extreme climate. The leaves of gymnosperms are not well adapted to extreme climate. Leaves of gymnosperms are well adapted. They are well adapted because they are having needle-like leaves, cuticles, thick cuticles, and stomata, right? Then sequoia is one of the tallest trees. Sequoia is one of the tallest trees. It is right. Sequoia is tallest tree. Salvinia, Ginkgo and Pinus are all gymnosperms. Salvinia is a pteridophyte. Salvinia is a pteridophyte. Ginkgo and Pinus are gymnosperms. So option C is the right answer. So this was, there are so many other PYQs in this chapter. Since the chapter is having high weightage, there are so many PYQs. You can refer more PYQs and practice more PYQs so that you will be thorough with the chapter. Just one thing I have to tell you is that read NCERT again and again, be thorough with the concepts and practice the questions, practice so many questions. Okay, so this was all about today's class. Thank you for listening to me. So the next class will be Animal Kingdom. Thank you. Signing off.